Well, so we're ready to look at what the stories are on the front and back pages as they've been summarized on the news portal Major Online. Mavi, today's just do.
All right, we started with the Daily Guide newspaper. NPP suspends 4 chairmen over Afoko demo. Government blows $40 million on dictionaries. Story says that the Ministry of Education is reportedly entering into a $40 million contract, which sources say looks bizarre and dodgy. But 40 million for dictionary today, I mean, how often do you open a dictionary?
I don't open often, but my children do. And I'm thinking if I bought dictionaries for my children, but we have a lot more children in public schools who can't get access, then they need dictionaries.
Okay.
But that's how I will look at it, though.
Because I'm thinking
I don't know about the
technology age. A lot of people are on the internet as well.
Technology is always not available to everybody. Yeah.
Well, but we have to get into the details of this before we can draw any conclusions, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Finally, NDC fires 2 MPs, and that's in quotes, says that the governing NDC has reportedly sacked 2 leading members from the party for misconduct. We'll get you details of this one.
I know where that story is coming from. And the General Telegraph has a story: decision on voters register lines with the EC. And this one is a quote attributed to the President, John Dramani Mahama. And he assured the new Patriotic Party of undue belligerence in the disputed issue of the National Voters Register. Energy power badge to arrive in November. Oh, what's it?
We're in November, yeah. So November 20.
The power badge is expected to significantly. We're told that it's set still though. So now no problem. Very really. We're looking at the BNFT.
I want to see it in Ghana. I want us to connect to it and start getting power from it. Then I'll believe in it.
Yeah.
Because whether it's that doesn't mean anything to me.
You want to see fear. The BNFT has on the front page, GRA calls NCA's bluff. The Ghana Revenue Authority has called the bluff of the National Communication Authority after the telecoms regulator had directed Super Infosolutions to stop its monitoring of telcos revenue by Thursday, 12 November. And now Mahama wants more from MPs as Job 600 opens. And President John Mahama says offering a conducive and enabling environment for members of parliament to work effectively in the country's interest was a motivation behind the refurbishment of the new State House Tower Block, also known to many of us as Job 600. Indeed, that has been there since I started journalism.
So, you know what? Why are the offices not 600?
What was... I think I heard that it should have been completed in 600 days or something was when started.
So why don't we...
Or that it was supposed to have generated 600 jobs at a time or something of the sort.
So that's why
there's a story to it why it's called Job 600. Yes. And then Business Day newspaper, Ghana has this story: BOG doubles capital requirement for Banku, and the Bank of Ghana has increased the capital requirements. Now their capitalization is moving from 60 million cedis to 120 million cedis to strengthen them against risk. And we know that the economy is expanding in many respects, despite all the things, and so they need to be strong enough as far as.
But Roland, what does it mean? What does it mean?
It means
what does it mean to me if I am banking with you and you collapse, and the Bank of Ghana has got this 120 million cedis?
No, it just means that you as a bank, for all that you have, your assets in your liquidity, should be about 100 million Ghana cedis. And that is the base for which the Bank of Ghana will continue trading with you, making sure you're still in good standing, you have the best licenses, and then you can operate in the sector. And the whole idea is also to strengthen the financial sector, the banking sector. So for those who can meet the capitalization, it means they have to merge with other banks so that they can strengthen as far as their capitalization is concerned and can trade better in the sector.
We want stronger directives for all these microfinance institutions.
That's the issue.
Because where the worry is.
Yes, you get to see that for the commercial banks, because the regulation from the Bank of Ghana is very stringent, they usually toe the line as far as the regulations are concerned. I guess the difficulties is with the microfinance institutions, because at the end of the day, once they start trading 2, 3, 4 years down the lane, then they start diversifying their investments based on what their receipts are. So when there's a rush to make withdrawals at a certain point in time, then they are short for cash.
Which we've seen recently.
In many respects, yes. So that's what we've seen. Government clearing ECG debt mid-boss, and government is on track at clearing all debt owed the Electricity Company of Ghana as part of conditions required to release the $489 million under the Millennium Challenge account, Compact 2. We know that this is supposed to go to the energy sector as well, and the ECG foremostly will be a major beneficiary. They're supposed to make sure that they cut costs. And I know that for many industries, Mavi, when you're supposed to cut costs, it also means that you have to cut jobs. But they said that there will not be job losses.
Exactly.
Something that
you doubt, eh?
Yeah. Because in many corporations around the world, when you have to cut costs, the first thing they look at to make sure they trim their budget is making sure people multitask.
Yeah.
Or they reduce the numbers on the job.
Maybe they've realized that a good number are also due for retirements, so that would not be cutting jobs, but people who...
So they'll just retire and not take people on, just as part of cost-cutting measures.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do the story on myjoyonline.com. Ashoman residents demand the removal of fuel station. Let's go down and share a bit of the story with you. It says that residents of Ashoman, a suburb of Accra, are demanding the immediate suspension of work on a fuel station being built in the midst of residential buildings. The residents fear the fuel station will pose serious risks to them when it starts operating. This is not a commercial area, it's a residential area, and there was no stakeholder consultation before the construction began. We do not need a fuel station here, one resident told Joy News's Joseph Opoku Gapo. There's an example at Westlands. The resident fought it, but guess what?
If you say Westlands, that's your area?
No, Ashoman is actually my rail area, but I pass through Westlands. Yeah.
So you're giving us an example from your area.
The fuel station is standing, actually.
It's still standing?
Yes.
It
came up.
The fuel station came up of our society.
Yes, it is. Let's do City FM Online. Let's check out what they are reporting today. All right. So publish cost of voters register forum. General elections, you can, okay, that's a group telling the Electoral Commission. Patients dying as Kolebu Burns units ICU remain. Details of that, Joy News brought you. That will be like last Friday. Poll, cross-section of Ghanaians kick against students paying utility bills, and government developing local content policy for petroleum sector. Some of the stories you find on the site. Let's do the Africa page on the BBC now, just before we wrap up. Rwanda leader condemns Burundi violence. Russia flies some 11,000 Egypt tourists home. But this is the story that we're going to open up for you. Sierra Leone declared free of Ebola. Details of that. Please open it up.
What about the things that still stay in the semen and in the secretion of the victims, so to speak?
Well, those are excesses.
Well, you're not reporting cases, but the cases that you've dealt with and declared free, they still have, like in their semen and their secretion, they still have.
You know, I think what they've said is that, you know, there are still a lot of issues that Ebola has left behind. It's not like Ebola is gone completely, but at least they are not reporting new cases.
Okay.
And they doubled the time. Let me just share a bit of it. It says that Sierra Leone has officially been declared free of Ebola by the World Health Organization. Thousands of people took to the streets of the capital, Freetown, at the stroke of midnight, marking 42 days without a single declared case of the disease. Usually the 42 is half the number, but they waited for extra
double of the number.
Exactly.
So it means they just wait 21 days.
But we wait to see. I think the prayer is, let's not continue to record any let's have 0. Then we can pay attention to the cases that already exist and see
or have been treated, but still maybe.
Exactly.
Because it's still a gray area, a very fluid area, in which, because of not having precedents of existing perhaps symptoms or conditions in patients who have been treated, they're seeing all these phenomena, and so we'll have to treat it.
There are some figures here. The outbreak killed almost 4,000 people in Sierra Leone over the past 18 months. The total Ebola deaths figures up to 1st November 2015 is 11,314. Yeah.
That's huge. And
look
those
at
deaths
these
are probably
figures
confirmed
in
and
the countries that are
suspected.
recorded.
Yes, and you're saying Liberia 4,808, and then 3,955 for Sierra Leone, and also 2,536 for Guinea, 80 Nigeria. Okay, I can see Ghana again.
But these are not just numbers, so these are human beings that we've lost.
And I know in Nigeria,
in neighboring countries,
Dr. Adadivo, one of the early victims, who treated.
I had a Sierra Leonean nurse who survived.
And
she got
a Sierra Leonean
Ebola.
doctor also died.
She got she got it from another person, like a patient, and she survived it. And she's back working in a hospital as a nurse.
Great. We'll see how that goes as far as that is concerned. We're hoping that we can see a lot more light at the tunnel as far as this is concerned. We know Ebola is a very serious condition, and this phenomenon has not been witnessed, especially this very outbreak. And so we're hoping that we can undertake a lot more research as a society or as a world to make sure we kept this.
Okay, let me make you smile a little.
Please do.
Over the weekend, there was some Premier League. Are you crying or you are smiling or you are like you want to hide? Okay, so I couldn't believe it. Chelsea couldn't make it again. And why are you on the table? You know the last 3 would usually go for relegation. You are on top of.
What time is it?
You are like.
Sports is nice. Is Baba Tando ready?
This is the opening of sports. Keep quiet.
Baba Tando. We're showing Ebola. This is sports. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're having sports.
No,
unless
we're not going.
Fred, our director, decides not to go.
You're on top of Newcastle. I remember very well. And I can't believe Liverpool couldn't beat Crystal Palace. I mean, towards the last closing stages,
but the good thing for Chelsea is that we played well. We created.
What does playing well mean when you didn't score?
We played well. We created a lot of chances in the first half. We could have done better than
resulted
we did.
in.
Yes, of course, a 1-0 defeat. But I think that coming from where I am coming from, I hadn't watched 6 to 7 matches of Chelsea before I watched the Stoke game. I should be happy. I think that we played well. There was a lot more coherence and cohesion in the team.
Listen, all you're saying doesn't mean anything.
So we're taking a break.
Nothing.
When we come back, we're bringing you sports.
Chelsea is still suffering, whether there's Mourinho or not.
Fred, take a break. I'm warning you.
Oh, let me just say, Manchester United, they won their game by 2 goals to 0. That's more
pure
sports.
bias.
Stay with us.
Molesting and humiliating.
But we're celebrating Nigeria, the under-17. We think that you guys did well. Congratulations to Nigeria under-17.
Oh, Mama V.
And